Hello, my cookies, and welcome. Welcome to Russell Cooks. Thanks so much for tuning in today. I'm going to be doing two of my favorite dips. I got a buffalo chicken dip and then also a caramelized onion dip. They're amazing. I can't wait to make them. So the first dip I'm going to be doing is the buffalo chicken. It takes some time in the oven. It takes about 40 minutes. It's really easy, a lot of hands-off time, but we got to get it in first. So now that we know what we're doing, let's gather our ingredients for this buffalo chicken dip. I can't stand blue cheese. Blue cheese is disgusting. I can't stand it. I won't eat it. I get it that a lot of people put it in with, like the buffalo, whatever. They like it with that. Fine. Do that. I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm using feta. I'm going to give myself a nice creamy, salty bite rather than that blue cheese fungus. Yuck. I'm going to be using some feta. You're going to need some Frank's Red Hot. OG, original, nothing else. I got some ranch dressing, Worcestershire sauce, a sharp cheddar, scallions. This is garnish, optional. Philadelphia cream cheese. Doesn't have to be Philadelphia, but you're gonna need a hefty amount of cream cheese. And to save myself some time, I bought a rotisserie chicken. I'm gonna be using a lot of this chicken, shredding it up, getting it in. Now that we've gathered our ingredients, let's get cooking. I'm doing this in a toaster oven, so I've preheated it to 350 degrees. I can't find my little glass ceramic baking dish, so I'm just going to be using a 9-inch round pan. You are going to need 1 pound of cream cheese. We get our Frank's Red Hot. It's got to be Frank's Red Hot. This is the OG. This is what makes it buffalo flavor. This is a 12-ounce bottle. I'm going to use half this, 6 ounces. There we go. Just eyeball it. I'm going to microwave this on like 50% power. I just want to soften the cream cheese, mix it up. No lumps left. Time to shred some chicken. I got a rotisserie chicken here. I just want a couple cups. I don't want to overload this dish. Shred this up, get it off the bone. All right, here we go. That's plenty. Crumble up 4 ounces of feta, roughly. I think that's plenty. So typically when you do like buffalo wings, you do Frank's Red Hot and butter, but we're doing cream cheese here because we want it a little creamier. Butter will be a little bit rich. I'm going to crumble up a bunch of this feta in here. Save the cheddar, and I'm going to put that kind of towards the end of baking on top. Let's get this going. Whisk in a little bit of Worcestershire sauce. Now, if you don't know what Worcestershire sauce is, it's made with anchovies. It's got some vinegar in it, so it'll add a little bit of brightness, but it'll also add a little bit of umami. That's that savoriness. It's really nice. So I just put in 3/4 cup of ranch dressing. This one was a little bit looser, buttermilk, so I'm only putting 3/4 cup. You can put a little bit more, and that will just adjust the spiciness. So if you want it not as spicy, put in a little bit more ranch. Put all this deliciousness together. And then let's start on our onions. Woo! Got a bit of a kick. All right, let's get it in our oven. No Michelin stars. 350. About 20 minutes, I'll get the cheddar on top. For our caramelized onion jam, you are going to need a bunch of onions, about 1.5 pounds. So depending on the size, depends on how many. Need some sour cream. I got some Fage total yogurt here. This is 5%. This is one of the fattiest plain yogurts you could get, which is why I like it. Absolutely delicious. You're gonna need a little bit of sugar. Doesn't matter the type. Brown sugar is fine. I'm using granulated. Some chives, always nice. Olive oil, balsamic vinegar. And last but not least, you need just a teeny bit baking soda. I'm gonna do 2 pounds of onions. Why not? I'm not gonna dice these up. I'm actually gonna be just slicing it thin, crosswise. So you can see the onion that has the veins going this way. So if you cut it this way with the vein, they're sturdy, they'll hold up. You can cook them if you wanted them to hold up. I don't. I sort of want it to turn into a mash. All right. So in order to do that, I'm going to be doing 2 things. I'm going to be cutting it crosswise so they break apart easier. And I'm going to be adding a little bit of baking soda to it in a little bit of water. And that's just going to help kind of turn them into mush. All that does is save me the time of putting it in a food processor to grind it up. So I'm going to shoot for about an 1/8-inch slice. I'm just going to start adding them directly to my pot. I start in a cold pot for this. And my eyes are starting to bug me. Holy moly. I think I rubbed one of them. I rubbed my left one. Don't do that. Don't touch your face. I'm going to take a 1/4 cup of water and a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. Combine the two. Let's mix it up. Pour it in here. I'm also going to add about 3 tablespoons of olive oil. 1, 2. Let's just finish off the bottle. Great. Stir this around. Cover it. medium heat. But I did hear a timer go off. Look at this. It's nice and bubbly. Get some chicken pieces. Let's give this a stir. We're going to get our cheese on it too. I have my onions covered. It's medium heat. I got the oil in there. I got a little bit of water, a little bit of that baking soda. I want the onions to completely release their liquid. That's going to take about 10 minutes. All right. I just want to make sure everything's nicely coated. Back to this buffalo dip. Now I've got a very sharp cheddar, just 3-year aged Cabot that I get cheaper than any other cheese I buy because I get it from Costco. It's absolutely phenomenal. It's better than anything they make in the Midwest. So I'm just going to sprinkle it on top. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to broil it. I kind of want a crispy topping here for about 5 minutes. See what happens there. Back over to our onions. Let's drop the heat down. I can see a bunch of steam coming out. You got it nice and hot. Still need to let this go a little bit longer covered, but you can see how it's kind of starting to break down. That's great. That's what we want. A couple more minutes. While we wait on that, let's prep our scallions for our buffalo dip. Get a little bit more of the greeny green bit. We got a lot of liquid in there. It's released all its juices. Fantastic. It's starting to break down. Now comes the balsamic vinegar. We can always add a little bit of water later to this if we need to. I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of balsamic vinegar, 2 tablespoons of sugar. Need to enhance those natural sugars found in the onions. I got the heat down low. I'm going to stir this. Let this go for about 15 minutes, stirring it pretty often, scraping up the bottom. Let all that moisture cook off. Medium low heat. I gotta get this just dinged. Let's check it out. Heck yeah, look at this. Look at that nice little browning from that cheddar cheese we got. It's bubbling up. We now gotta let it cool so we can eat it. That's gonna take 10 minutes. That's hard. I consider doing this with a black bottom pot a mistake on my part. You wanna do a light colored, like a Le Creuset that has like a light interior, stainless steel, what have you. I can't see if there's caramelization happening on the bottom and it's sticking, so I just have to be extra careful here. Oh, yes. Oh, get in there. Ooh, it's still nice, bubbly, warm. Our scallions. I got some chicken. Got my chip. Oh my God. First thing that hit, creaminess. It was so creamy, so silky, so smooth. It just covers the tongue. I got a little piece of chicken immediately. So the chicken came in, that flavor. So I got the creamy, then I got the chicken, and then the heat just started to build. Oh, absolutely delicious. That buffalo sauce just started to build. I got a little tingle on the back of my tongue right now. This is so good. It's so easy. Scallion, onioniness in there too. This is good. Chunk of chicken right here. I'm gonna add about a 1/4 teaspoon of salt to the onions, just a little bit. I haven't added salt yet. A tablespoon of water. Just gonna scrape up all the brown fond that's on the bottom, all that caramelization. This color brown, no sooner. In order to finish it, need some more ingredients. So you need some Fage yogurt. I love this stuff for making dips and such. I got some sour cream, got some chives. I probably made more than I needed. These are great on sandwiches. You can put a sandwich on it. I am gonna measure about a cup here of my caramelized onions. And now I am going to put in 8 ounces of sour cream. That's an entire little tub like this. So I'm gonna do about half of this. Maybe I can add a little bit more as needed. Let's get some chives going here. I'm just gonna do maybe a tablespoon of chives. I've mixed this together. Let's give it a taste for salt. Let's give it a taste for vinegar. You might need to brighten it up. This is very rich. The caramelized onions, despite their sweetness, will come across a lot more savory. You got really fatty yogurt. You got really fatty sour cream. These mean richness. You might need to cut through that richness with a little bit of brightness. That means vinegar. Not a lot. We're gonna taste it. So let's grab a chip. If you have caramelized onion dip, you're gonna need the OG Ruffles. All right, that's the rule. Right now it needs more salt. I'm gonna do about another 1/4 teaspoon kosher salt here. Does need a little bit of vinegar. I like distilled white vinegar here. It's just a clean, very clean, doesn't add any extra flavor, just adds kind of like that brightness. I'm gonna do about 3/4 of a teaspoon, not even, let's do half a teaspoon of this vinegar. Let me taste this for salt and everything, and then we can get into it. Oh my God. Okay. I'm gonna add a 1/4 teaspoon more vinegar. Between that half teaspoon of salt and that half teaspoon of vinegar, the onion flavor just popped. It just exploded. Oh my gosh. Now this is caramelized onion dip. All right, you know what? Let's add half a teaspoon of vinegar. I don't want it too vinegary. I'm putting it away. We're walking away. And I'm gonna add an 1/8 teaspoon kosher salt. Mix it back up. This is really good. It's just, you get the creamy, and then you get this big pop of caramelized onion. We put the balsamic vinegar in there. You don't taste it. It just really enhances that caramelized onion flavor. A little bit of sugar brings out that sweetness. So that was buffalo chicken ranch dip and caramelized onion dip. If you like what you saw, don't forget to check me out on YouTube. I'm also on Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I hope to see you next time. Take care.